Oh, honorable way we saw. Okay, we see here. There was this way we see sometimes, not in Schenectady. They only attack outer regions because they're afraid of a big superpower war. What they do is attack the outskirts of a region that has some money, and this is what they saw. They're only like us a little, these Chinese from the underworld that have been cut in some way because they were stupid. What they do is they come up and they have to travel single file through their land to not be attacked for it. And then they leave and they go to Seoul and they get on the ship and they come right here to America like they were so Koreans and everybody knows it. If you know what I do, then you find out very soon that this is in fact the way we see here in America now because Seoul has free reign of the place, I guess. So we decided to write this comic because we've seen this about 8 times now. And we go, well, are we going to see it again? And they go, yeah, pretty much. So it's probably like 28 times, but I don't know anymore. We just don't count because that's something we got tired of doing a while ago. And we just go, you know what? I guess we'll just write a thing about it and we can see this way. And he goes, okay, fine, let's do this one. And so we decided to write this one down and we decided, you know what? It is who they are. And then we decided, you know what, this doesn't look like we wanted to. Let's redo it, and we would call it the Eternals, because they are the ones who survived. They say, yes, let's make it about the Eternals, and that's that way we can see a way they will never see a way, and that won't be it, and it's not that. He says, yes, very good, we know what we see. This is a way we don't. And this, he goes, yes, this is a way we don't see. And they say, okay, good, we will see this way, and when we see it, we will be a way they were not what they are, and this way it's this. And he says, yes, correct, this will be the way. And we will make them all not good ways. Yes, they will be terrible heroes. How about that? So we took some time, we did some research, we found out who these people were, and eventually we had all the information we wanted, and we started writing it. And it took a little while, and we drew up the comic, and it was just like that. It was, hey, this isn't too bad. This is pretty good. This is an actual record of something. And we put it out, and they said no, and they don't see it. So it's just an unpopular one. Of course they don't see it. No one sees it. That's the entire point. Why don't they understand that if they saw it, we would see it, and they don't see it, so it's not saw, but this is the one we wanted to make, because it's the only one that's real, and they knew it. And so we made this, and we go, you know what, this is actually pretty bad. And then he goes, what's wrong with it? He goes, it's kind of jumbly. I would like to redo the whole thing as the Eternals Reborn, and we'll see it. And he says, no, I don't think we will make Eternals Reborn. And he says, oh, but why not? And he goes, oh, because the last one flopped. I hate making flop too. And he goes, yes, well, why don't we do it so it's not? He's like, every time we bring someone into one of these projects that's not from outside, they want to know every detail about the story and all these other things so they can make their annotative and add their little special power to it. You know exactly what I'm talking about with the Liefeld situation and the Marvel situation. They always had to have it, so he does that. Yes, I know the whole thing with that stupid thing they made where the guy had to jump every single episode because he had to be that way. And they know it, and it's just like, come on, man, we don't want him to jump in this episode. And he's like, no, he has to, otherwise he isn't being the right character anymore, because he's a jumper. And that's why we see it. And they knew. So eventually they had this argument about how to do it, and they said, can we just say jump? And he says, no, he has to do a physical jump in the comic strip, or it's not what he does. And they go, why does it have to be that? And he says, because it has to be it. Otherwise, it's not the right character. Why don't you understand? He's a jumper type. And he has to be the one that jumps all the time. He's like, I don't understand how the writing is not including this in it. It should be here somewhere I see it. He's like, no, I'm telling you this behind closed doors in the office so you understand it the correct way. It's not written down everywhere because we don't see it this way. He thought maybe they were fooling him, and he said, please don't see it, and don't make it so it's not a thing we see that way. He says, no, we have to. You don't understand. This is above me. The company must abide by some rules. He says, this doesn't make any sense to me. Of course it didn't, because they don't tell you anything. They're idiots. He says, if it was actually open and we could plastitude it and see the things, we wouldn't be seeing it. Of course, he was young and he didn't understand these things, but we don't care anymore. We never cared. So what we did was we decided to have a fist fight instead, and that's what we did. So then after we had a fist fight, we said, "Get out of here, you're a nerd to me." It's hilarious because as a crippled boy with a bad leg, he put up a damn good fight against a man that's nearly twice his size and age. But they said, who cares? Anyways, they were both pussies, and everyone should know that they were pussies. He had to pick up a phone book for some reason during a fist fight, and that is not normal. Only a pussy would do something like that. He said, "Yes, that is exactly what I said, and we should not see them as anything but it." Eventually, when we wrote it, we said there were guys that they could not kill. They said, "These guys can't be killed, you know. These ones see it in some way. They cannot see it, like a sixth sense, and they know it's coming. They know it is coming because they see. They know they have this power to see them sometimes, and they will surround them and dance around them in the strangest sort of fashion, and it's unnerving, and they have no idea why this is occurring." Well, to some of them it was obvious that it was indeed Soul. And they said, "I can't explain this to you, but they were staring at me the entire time like no one else, and I knew that they were up to something, and now I see." What happened is then the Chinese would attack, and there would be like 99 Chinese that decided to kill themselves because they were already dead. That way they see. He says they will come from the earth, from the sea, from the sky, any way they can, and they will try to invade a home and attain that identity, and that someone doesn't see. That's all there is to the thing, and they don't see it. The idea is that when they come, you have to defeat them or you will die. The question is not whether or not you will die, but how. Because you will be greatly outnumbered, and that, I say, is not good. But we have seen that they have survived it again and again, because Chinese are weak. He says, yes, this appears to be the truth of it, that many Chinese are indeed weak, and that's why they need outstanding numbers to attack. And he said, please don't ever look at me like I am one of those. And he says, I am not a Chinese, I am a Chinaman. They said, yes, of course, silence you, we don't see Chinaman. And they knew what we saw because we see a way we don't see it. These were not the same Chinaman he was. We already discussed that earlier in this episode. Hopefully you don't think I'm an idiot, but I know that these men could not fight against 99 and win, but they knew a way to surround themselves so that they could not be attacked on that day. Many believe that this is the only way out, that you must in some way include yourself in something they cannot see at the exact moment they decide to attack, and that's the way. We were unsure because many times they had escaped. This is not something that is unseen. That is something that comes to pass after a great long time because they could not at any time envelop them and eat their childhood money. This is how the world goes to it now. They see a way in Soul to see it so that it is of use to them in some way, and they will see the poor Chinese from the underground a good way now. I hope you understand that this is probably war. I don't know why it's not. We always look at it and we go, well, they were stupid, and that was how we see it, but this is not like that. When many wars come, such as Adolf Hitler and whatever his name charlatan was, they were dumb. Yes, they were absolutely beyond ninja. And we said they were stupid. They attack each other when this is an embargo? Why? And we don't know because they say, oh, the Jews, and they say, no, that was something else. That was because they were invasive, and he saw this as an attack, and no one can explain all of these situations and why they did what they did. They were simply too stupid to hold a higher power office. It was at this time that we decided to stop talking about the stupid wars, and we said, okay, what will we talk about now? And we said, okay, well, the Celestials. No, the Eternals, yes, of course. And that, we said, they will not see a way, and they will see a way, and we will see it, and they will survive an attack. All of them will survive a super attack that way. He says, this sounds like something I don't see it, and I don't like that, so Maybe we will make it not like Leafield saw no, and then we see this way too. He says, I like it when they get attacked by 99 and defeat them. It makes sense to me. It's perfect. He says, no, they have to outsmart them by filling in with the crowd or disappearing unintentionally. We finally decided that we would do both for each one, and that it would not be the same thing that coincides, and it would eventually there would be a story here. And they go, yes, this won't be hard to put together once we have all these things sorted out. We just slip into the crowd when he fights 9 guys, but there's 9 more, and they see a way, and this is nothing they see it, because they were Chinese. It took a long time, and we finally finished this book, and we go, yeah, it's not great, and we go, okay, well, let's print it, and they did, and then it came out in 43 episodes, and we thought, well, it's probably too many, and then we go, it's okay, don't worry about it, what's done is done, it will be good in the end. And it did achieve some modicum of likelihood that they were good to it. They said it had a collector's edition, and that is generally someone sees something that they see in it, and they go, this is probably a quality concept. And it has not been turned up for a video game or any of these things because we are unkempt and we don't want them in our office. It is a long time coming that we don't see them this way. It's not the Japanese, mind you, but the guys that come that want to make video games are not any good, and they were never any good, and now we know that they were not good. It took some time to find this out because some of them were just merely dropouts of college at Harvard, and now he's a video game guy because he can write the code, and we go, well, he's not a good guy, why is he doing our project? And now we see it. In the end, you must watch out for this way. First of all, there will be a move in progress by the NA. That will be something they see, and they will go to it, and they will say, this is something we will say. And then they will attempt to replace people on that exact day of the move, if they may. This is not always possible, because sometimes there are too many people about, and this is something they work to get around. You understand, they will attack someone in their sleep if they think it'll work the way they see it. If you don't know what I see, you must be very careful about these things. These people are very dangerous, and they have nothing to live for. You must be aware that they are not who we were, and that the Seoul Koreans are giving them information about some people. This is something we must not see because they see it, and that's not a see we saw. And so now you know what way we didn't see.